Hi everyone, welcome to the video, and in this video we are going to make REST APIs with Python. So let's get started. So before that, what are we going to do? Let me just explain you that. So usually a lot of websites, when you want to access the data, they have an API call. You always see for API call for stock data or some kind of values. You have the API and you call that API and you get the data. Now I am going to teach you how to make those APIs with Python and Flask. Remember, we also did a little bit of hacking. We hacked websites for their hidden APIs. So those APIs, how they are making it, we are going to learn to make that. So the prerequisite for this course, I mean, what you need to do is we need to download a tool known as Postman. So let me quickly head over to my Chrome browser and show you. So you can type Postman on Google. So just gonna do that, hit enter, the first link right here. Okay, the API development toolkit. So Postman is really great. They have also a paid version, but we are going to use the free version. Say get started, and automatically it's going to detect your operating system and just hit download. So once you're downloaded, that's it. Then we need to open the Postman, of course. um, so let me open my Postman and let's quickly get started. uh, Postman. So whenever you have downloaded the Postman, it will load up and you would see a screen, something like this. You will see a screen like this. All right, so now let's get started. So this is the screen that you are going to see for the first time. All right, so once you are done with that, let's try to develop our first API, very basic hello world API. So let's get started. So let me just pull up my notes real quick. And so I'm going to try my best to explain you. So from Flask, I'm going to say import Flask. So I'm importing Flask because we need to use Flask for the REST APIs. So after that, I can say from Flask underscore RESTful, right? I'm gonna do import resources, comma API. So this is what we need. Now, first of all, we need to define our app or our server, right? So we say Flask underscore underscore name underscore underscore, basically just passing in the name. Then we need to also define our API. So I'm going to say API and I'm going to pass in that app. First of all, for first time, it will look a little bit confusing, but once you get a hang upon this, and it'll be really a cup of cake for you. So let us define a class. And this class is going to inherit from resources. I'm going to define a default constructor. And I'm going to pass in self. Just going to say pass. And I'm going to define a method known as get, right? That is going to return a JSON object, which is nothing but a string, which is nothing but a dictionary. Sorry for that. All right, so pretty much it. Now we need to run our app. Set debug equals to true for now, so that if we are running into any errors, we can quickly debug it, of course. So let me just go through the code what we did. So we are importing two of this library to make our own API, right? Then we define our app, which is nothing but a Flask. Then I define my API object. So I created an object of API. Then I'm creating a class known as hello world, which has a method known as get, because our API usually has get, put, post, and something like that. So which is going to return a JSON object, which is nothing but hello world. Usually, always API returns a JSON object, usually most of the case. So let me clear that and try to run it. So I'm going to say python3 test.py. So my server is running. Now this is the URL that you can pass to your web developers or the web developer which you would be using it. But before that, I forgot one small part. We need to define the resource So let me add the API resource. So I'm going to say API dot add underscore resource, right? And I'm gonna pass in that object of hello world. And here is what you want to route, basically your URL slash API or slash auth or whatever you want. So right now I'm just gonna say basic slash. So whenever somebody visit on this website known as https 127.0.0.1:5000 slash, it will return hello world because it's a get request, right? So save it, clear the terminal, run the file, note that the server is running. So now let's head over to the Postman and teach you something about. So you gotta create a collection. So gotta say collection. So once you do a create collection, you would see you give it a name. Okay. So after you're done with that, you can just paste your URL here, right? Send. Here you see it gave you the data back. Hello world. We can also do this with Python. We don't need Postman. So in my hacking tutorials I've already taught you this. So what you guys do is basically you have to define a URL, which should be my local URL for now because I don't have a domain name for right now. I can say now we need to make a request dot get URL print r. So trying to run this. Oops. So here you see hello world. This we can also use Python or you can use Postman, whatever you like. So that's it for this video. This is a really very basic of about REST APIs and with Python. So how you can create a very basic REST API. We are also going to develop some complex REST APIs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hack some people's website. What I'm going to do is basically I'll do a reverse engineering on their website for their hidden API. My video is already there on the I have already created a lot of videos for that. Using that, we will make our own API from Flask and get the data. Like it's our own API call now, not there. Of course, when we call our API call is going to call their API call and so on. So that's it for this video. Let's keep it short. Have any questions, post them in the comment section below and I shall get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.